Mike's on.
All right, a little past 5 here on this Football Friday. We got picks still to do. We'll get to that as we get ready for a big weekend. We have Army-Navy tomorrow, and then obviously the football on Sunday with the Jets out in Denver, the Giants, the 1 o'clock game with Eli Manning at quarterback against the Cowboys. There will be plenty of Cowboy fans in the building, as you would expect. Marvin in the Bronx. What's up, Marvin?
Mike, I'm just recovering from knee surgery, but I had to say goodbye to you. And I want to say this because you're special to me, and I mean that. You're from Long Beach. I grew up in Rockaway, and I'm very proud of you.
Well, thank you, Marvin. Appreciate it.
And I'm gonna say this: when they close the book on Sports Talk Radio, your name will be mentioned with Art Rush Jr., Bill Mazer, Sterling, and Marty Glickman.
Well, that's very nice.
And I want to wish you the best. We've had our differences, but you've given me a voice, and you've been fair, and you've allowed me to speak. And you're the only guy I just wait an hour and a half to speak to. If I'm going to get the chance to speak to you next week, because I'm recovering from knee surgery,
right.
11 months in Iraq, I'm playing basketball with my grandkids. I blew my knee out.
What did you do? Did you have a major surgery?
I had
Did you have dislocation or just the ligament?
I tore the top tendon above my knee.
Okay. And did they? It wasn't a scope. They did a major surgery, right?
It was major surgery. I got a brace on it and everything.
You do? Are you bending?
No, I can't bend for a while. You know.
Are you going to rehab?
Yeah, well, I just had the surgery 2 days ago.
Well, start to get the rehab right away. That's the key. I've had plenty of them. Get the rehab right away. That's the key.
All right.
It hurts. It hurts, but you got to go to rehab.
Well, I can handle that.
That's
but
it.
I want to say, man, 30 years, you're an institution in the city, and you will definitely be missed.
Thank you, Marvin, very much.
And enjoy your retirement.
Thanks,
I mean that.
Thanks very much. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
All right, Marvin in the Bronx. As a matter of fact, we tried to give him tickets to Post. Now we know where he was because he went to school there. And Mons and I were looking. We called him up. We couldn't find him. He was in the hospital. We didn't realize it. Tom in Holbrook. What's up, Tom?
Hey, Mike. How you doing today?
What's happening?
Thanks for the 30 years. First off, I want to talk Eagles-Rams. I'm a huge Eagles fan. I want to know what matchup are you more interested in? Are you more interested in the quarterback matchup, or are you more interested in the front fours of the teams going at one another?
Neither.
Aaron Donald on one side and Fletcher Cox.
Neither.
Ooh, really?
I'm more interested in whether or not your head coach knew how to take that defeat last week, keep them out west, and get them ready to play this game. And I don't know if he did or didn't, and I don't know enough about whether he can do that or not. And that's what I'll be looking at. The Rams have been very well coached all year. Number one, he did a very smart thing, McVay. He went out and got himself a guy he could leave the defense alone with Phillips. So he got a veteran guy, a lot like Holmgren got Fritz Shermer. He went out and got a veteran guy, so he didn't have to worry about his defense. He could leave his defense in his coordinator's hands. He didn't have to prepare the defense. He could leave the defense alone. So that took a third of the team away from him. Now,
you could say, Mike, that Peterson got Jim Schwartz, which is kind of the same thing.
Yes, but not as stable. But Schwartz, you have to coach, because if you don't, he gets to be a lunatic sometimes, and he'll go over the top to try and get to the quarterback, and he'll give up too many big plays. So Phillips is solid. He's much more stable as a person. Your guy will try to do anything to get to the quarterback, and that's the dangerous part, where might be very successful some games, but he'll also give up a ton of big plays some games. So you got to worry about that part. But I'm going to learn something about both head coaches here, but I'm really going to learn something about the Eagle head coach, and that is, I look to see how they come off adversity and how they handle a week away. Now, they went and did the right thing. They went and asked people whether they should come back or not. They went and asked coaches who told them, no, don't bring your team back across the country. Keep them out there. But keeping them out there is smart if you didn't waste your time out there, in that you take them away from everything, and they don't hear any nonsense about they lost. They were in a bubble all week. So the fact is, they didn't get beat on. They didn't hear anything negative. They didn't get an edge because they didn't hear anything that got them angry. They basically were in a little cocoon all week. And the question is, from there, can you get them ready to play this game? And that's going to be the interesting part, because your team hasn't come off any adversity in a while. And how it comes off this game and plays what is a very big game this week will be very interesting. This is a game that's got major home field implications. It's got bye implications, and byes make a big difference. 1 versus 2 is not that big. Getting that first bye, that's big. That is really big. And this game's going to tell a lot about these two teams. And frankly, I think we're going to learn about these two teams. I don't think we know enough yet about exactly how these two teams will perform. So it's going to be very interesting to watch. Eric in Long Island, what's up, Eric?
Mike, good afternoon. How are you?
What's happening?
It's funny, just a question and a comment about the Cowboys. First, it's funny how time flies. You think of Tom Landry as the all-time, longevity person. This year, Jerry Jones is actually going to pass Landry in longevity. 29 years, he's finishing his 29th. I never would have thought that Jerry Jones would outlast Tom Landry in that,
Nor would I. It's hard to see anybody outlast Tom Landry. And the way Jerry Jones has run things have sometimes been chaotic, but he's lasted a long time, no question.
It's great. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They're two teams.
No, they will not make. They will not make the. I don't even think they'll make it at 10-6. The problem is they don't have any tiebreakers.
No, the problem, they do have 3-team tiebreakers. They will actually win most of the 3 teams.
Yeah, but the problem is it's not going to be a 3-team most likely.
No, I agree.
And they don't beat Atlanta, which is critical.
I know. So listen, I don't think they're going to make it either. My point is Jerry at a point where no matter what, he's just going to hold on to the Garrett because it's so hard to find a guy at his age who can do what he says?
No, just because he likes having a coach who he doesn't have to explain himself to, and having a coach who
he's going to stay.
I think Garrett stays no matter what. I think he absolutely stays. Jerry loves him. He loves him as a person. First of all, he's a very good guy, okay? I've known him a long time. He's a very good guy. But also, the thing he does is he allows Jerry to be Jerry, and that's important to Jerry. Jerry wants to be able to do everything he wants, which means he wants to be part owner, he wants to be part general manager, he wants to be part head coach. He wants to do stuff that other owners don't do, and you need a guy who's tolerant of that, and Garrett's tolerant of it. He understands it. He understands what Jerry's going to do. He understands Jerry's going to go talk to the players. He understands Jerry's going to come down on the field. He understands Jerry's going to try and, during training camp, talk about positions. He's going to do all that stuff that would anger another coach, which doesn't anger Jason. And Jason has got the right temperament for him, and they're a partnership. So he's going to leave him alone. And I tell you, this year, that team was on the brink of being really good. They could have gone one way or the other. The problem is when they lost Elliott to the suspension, they lost their left tackle and they lost their heart and soul in Sean Lee on defense. Those 3 things the same week destroyed them. They lost 3 games in a row and they couldn't recover. Tommy in Mayapack, what's up, Tommy?
Hey, Mike, what's going on? I'm going to miss you when you're gone. God bless you.
Thank you, Tom. What's
Listen, everybody's talking about Aaron Boone, no experience.
Right.
They're calling up. Nobody did it. I mean, didn't Brentley come right out of the booth, take over for Buck, and they won a World Series?
Yes.
So it has been done.
No, it's been done, absolutely. Guys have come from everywhere and done it, so it can be done. It can be done with no experience, absolutely. So the idea, listen, Boone understands baseball. He's been around baseball all his life. He was a major league player. His father was a player. His brothers are players. The guy's been around baseball his whole life. He understands the only thing you have to do is make sure that he doesn't mess the pitching staff up, and you have a great pitching coach there. He won't let him mess the pitching staff up. He'll learn how to run the bullpen. That's the most important thing. One of the things that people would never think about, don't get pitchers up and down and not bring them in the game. That actually is as debilitating as actually bringing them in the game. Stuff like that, you cannot bring them in for dry, as Buck would call dry runs, although he uses a different word. That is as important. Some managers early in their career get guys up twice a game, and they don't think, I didn't pitch them, so it doesn't matter. It does matter. It matters a lot. You cannot keep doing that. Joe in Staten Island, what's up, Joe?
Good afternoon, Mike. How you doing? Thanks for taking my phone call. Mike, good luck in the future.
Thank you.
It's amazing how 30 years goes by.
Yeah, it does go fast.
It's amazing. Nobody really stays in one place in 30 years straight.
No, it's kind of rare to be in the same show for 30 years.
I know. Mike, first we'll talk about football, then the Mets. Terry Bradshaw, how do you compare? How would you rate him?
A very underrated quarterback, great bad weather quarterback, underrated historically.
Okay. Now, with the Mets, I'm a big Mets fan. Now, I know that they're not they're in New York. They compete against the Yankees. They're not the teams like the Dodgers, the Red Sox.
No.
Do you think they're going to go after somebody? Like they say every year, the Mets are going to go after this, the Mets are going after that.
I think they'll bring in one free agent. I don't think they'll bring in a real high-price one. I think they'll bring in one in-between free agent, someone, in the $10 to $15 million range. Could be Bruce. Could be an infielder. They'll bring in one guy. That'll be it, and they'll also work on the bullpen. That'll be their work. They'll do the rest from within. But I'd say they'll bring in one prominent guy to put in the lineup. Could be Bruce. Like I said, if Bruce can't find somewhere else to play, they like Bruce. They'll offer Bruce a deal to come back. Let's see if he does. I heard he wasn't thrilled here. He might want to go to Texas, no state income tax. It's another good reason to go there. But we'll see what happens. It's Football Friday on the Fan, giving away tickets to see the Giants.